In today's podcast, going to talk a little bit about plan, purpose, and preparation as we move into the new year. Over this past weekend, I spent a little bit of time studying in preparation for a Sunday school lesson. I have the opportunity from time to time to speak to some children are kind of 8, 9, 10 years old in that age group, and in the process of studying this lesson, and for those of you who spend any time at all in Scripture, and I don't speak a whole lot to that on this particular podcast, but you kind of know that our mind many times can go different ways, kind of go through studying maybe in preparation for something else, and you begin jotting down ideas. Well, in this particular passage, the Lord goes to Moses and Aaron, and for those of you who aren't familiar with the story, basically the Israelites found themselves in bondage. And they were under basically Egyptian rule. And the Lord had gone to Aaron and Moses, who was the political leader, Aaron, who was the religious leader for the Israelites, with this plan of deliverance. And he came with this plan right at the beginning of the new year. And as I began through reading the story, and I'm not going to go into depth in the story in this particular podcast, but as I went through the story, I began to kind of just jot down some ideas as it relates to us in our business as we began to move into a new year. Now, for most of the people in my network and mastermind that I attend, we really kind of gauge our business quarter over quarter. We set quarterly goals or quarterly rocks, and the start of a new year is for most of us just the beginning of a new quarter. But I think for all of us, it also can kind of give us a new opportunity, kind of a new beginning as we begin to move into a new year that we hope brings a little bit more, or has a little less turmoil than 2020 has had. Of course, 2020 has been a difficult year, and 2021 is a new beginning, and hopefully can bring brighter days for our businesses and also for our personal lives. But as I begin to kind of read through this, I jotted down 3 words: plan, purpose, and preparation. And we see this in this particular story. And at the beginning of the story, the plan is brought by the Lord to Moses and Aaron. And I think in our businesses, we need to develop a plan, in this case here, for deliverance. And as we kind of look back into 2020, maybe during this year we've accrued debt in our business that we should not have. Maybe we put together a marketing plan that just didn't work. Maybe we have toxic employees in our business that we simply just need to deal with. But I think as we look into our business, there is probably something that we need to stop doing. And in one of the masterminds that I attend, the last 2 quarters, the head of the mastermind has given us a card and has asked us to write down something that we're going to stop doing. Many times we look into our business, we always think, well, I need to start doing this, I need to start doing that. And many times those start doings are things that get us in trouble. But I think even more, there are things that we need to stop doing. Maybe we need to stop accruing debt and begin to pay off debt. Maybe we need to stop kind of pushing through and with the marketing plan that doesn't work. Maybe we need to stop investing in an employee that just isn't working out, and either we need to put them into a different seat or we just need to get them out of our business altogether. Because to those of us who are business owners, guess what? If something isn't working in our business, it's our fault. Think of, I'm sure probably many of you have read the book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, and he aligned something along in his book that goes something like this, that there are no bad teams, there are only bad leaders. So if something isn't working in our business, guess what? It's our fault as the business owner. It's not our employee's fault. It's not our integrator's fault. It's not anybody else's fault. If something isn't working, it's our fault. And so identifying what are some of those areas in our business that we need deliverance from, and make a decision to stop doing those things and move forward. And also, as we move into this new year, developing a plan for this year. What are we going to do this year? And then communicating that, and I'll get there in just a moment. So first of all, develop a plan for deliverance from those things that we need to essentially stop doing. And then next is to develop goals or a plan that aligns with our purpose. And so we see in this particular passage that there was a purpose. The Lord had a purpose for His people, and He also had a purpose for this plan. and that was to bring deliverance. And so in our business, we need to have a plan. We need to have a plan to get us away from the things that aren't working, and have a plan to move us forward, to push our business forward, to push our people forward. So next would be to develop goals or a plan that align with our purpose. Our purpose should be communicated very clearly with our team. And then beyond that, we also need to have an understanding from our team members what their purpose is personally. And then I think part of our role as business owners can be to help our team members also reach their purpose. And so I help them identifying what that purpose is if they don't know what that is, and then helping them get there. In this recent year, and I actually think I mentioned this in a previous podcast a few months ago, I read Howard Schultz's book, and who is, of course, the CEO of Starbucks. And you see in this book how he really went from store to store at times and found those purposes, those causes in those individual stores that maybe a manager had, maybe a barista had. And really went and really tried to help those particular stores, those particular individuals reach their purpose and get behind the causes that they cared about. So developing a plan for deliverance, developing goals that align with our purpose, then lastly, empowering our people to prepare for reaching those goals. In this particular story, of course, there was this plan, and there was this plan for deliverance. There was a clear purpose, but there was also a charge given to the people to prepare themselves for the victory. And so the people actually had to do the work. So as the business owners, we need to make sure that there's every tool provided, and also empowering our people to be able to move forward, to lift their own lid, to be able to invest in them, giving them the tools that they need, but also empowering them to be able to do the work that they need to do. So empowering our people to prepare for reaching those goals. And I would encourage us maybe in this next week is maybe we take a couple days off over the New Year's holiday to maybe jot some ideas down for this new year, and maybe have a strategy meeting this coming week with our teams. And in this strategy meeting, we really want to work on aligning our business and our technology and our innovation and our service and product offerings, making sure that everything is in alignment, and then discussing our 2021 plan with our people, and to make sure that we're all on the same page and we're all moving toward these new goals. What are we going to stop doing in this coming year? What are we going to start doing to get us away from those mistakes that we've made in the past? Hopefully this podcast was of some value to you. If you haven't subscribed already, I would ask you to consider subscribing to the Belk on Business podcast. Leave us a review. Would love to hear from you. If you have any questions, have a wonderful day.